Hey everyone, you're watching Fox 10 Talks. Brian Webb has left the country, actually.
Really?
Yes,
I had no
Zurich,
idea.
Switzerland.
Oh!
Yeah, we're constantly refreshing the Interpol site just to see what's Brian up to on his vacay.
That's a good move. I didn't
Yeah.
know if you were going to try to just have me pass for Brian Webb this whole
We
time.
could, just to see if people are paying
Yeah.
attention.
I know what you're
Yeah,
thinking. I'm
yeah.
just too darn young and attractive to be Brian Webb, but
Right. Full of vigor, though, nonetheless. Steve Nielsen in on the desk with me. Really appreciate that. But once again, Steve, we are joined by Harvard professor Dr. Avi Loeb.
Yes.
Now, Avi, a lot has happened in the last week, and thank you again for making some time for us here at Fox 10 Talks. Again, I think we should start off, if we could, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Now, she, of course, saw the latest information that you had last week and had wrote a letter to NASA asking that the Juno mission could direct part of that to study the 3I Atlas object in space. Can you tell us what's going on?
Thanks for having me. Yes, in fact, a week ago, last Tuesday, I received a phone call from Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, and she wanted an update about the 3I Atlas because it's not clear what the nature of this object is, and she was curious, and we talked about it, and I mentioned that just the day before, I wrote a scientific paper suggesting to use the Juno spacecraft, which is in orbit around Jupiter, and they were planning, NASA was planning to crash it into Jupiter and end its mission, because the mission started in 2011, it's now very long, and I wrote in my paper that instead of pushing it into Jupiter, let's push it away from Jupiter towards the path of this new interstellar object, 3I Atlas, because we still don't understand it and it might be quite interesting. And she was fascinated by this possibility and wrote a letter to the current interim administrator of NASA, Duffy, and I really salute her for doing that. I think it will be great for NASA in terms of public relations, and I'm communicating with the team of Juno to figure out how much fuel is left and how close can we come to the path of 3I Atlas. Juno has a lot of instruments and in principle can probe the nature of the object in ways that are quite different than the remote observing that we can do from Earth.
And I mean, if this thing is indeed extraterrestrial, having even 10 more minutes of heads up on what's going on out there, that would be crucial information. This would probably provide us, several weeks of data before it actually got here.
Right. Now, it will actually get to Jupiter after passing close to the sun. So it will get closest to the sun on the 29th of October, 2025. And then get close to Jupiter, surprisingly, because it is moving in the plane of the planets, which is one unusual anomaly of this object. But it will get to Jupiter in the middle of March 2026. So I showed that if you give a push to Juno in the right direction in the middle of September, when it was supposed to sink into Jupiter, if you just give it a push away from Jupiter, it could meet in principle, intercept the path of 3I Atlas in mid-March 2026. That would be exciting. We also get interesting data already from the Hubble Space Telescope and today, presumably also from the Webb Telescope. And I should say the Hubble images of 3I Atlas are quite puzzling because you see a glow in front of the object instead of trailing it the way that comets usually look like.
Wow. And have there been any theories of yours of what could possibly be that glow that would be in front of the object instead of the tail, like you said?
Well, one possibility is that the front of the object, as it moves towards the sun, is hotter. That's the day side of this object. And as a result of that, it evaporates. And but the problem is we see this glow in front, but we don't see any evidence for molecules that usually characterize cometary plumes around the comets, molecules that are carbon-based. There is no evidence for them. People have tried to look for them. And so maybe this is dust without any gas, that seems unusual. And we still need to understand what is going on. As it gets closer to the sun, it will get warmer, and then perhaps we would see more details about its nature.
Trying to understand if this is extraterrestrial, and the idea is that it's been launched from somewhere or came from another planet, are you able to determine, based on the trajectory we've had so far, what solar system that could have come from, and with how fast it's traveling, how long ago would this thing need to have been launched to get here?
Right. So it's moving at a very high speed, 1,000 times faster than the speed limit on a highway, at 60 kilometers per second. So what a car does roughly in 1 hour, it does in 1 second. It has entered the outer boundary of the solar system, the so-called Oort cloud, about 8,000 years ago at that speed. This boundary is 100,000 times the Earth-Sun separation. And so 8,000 years ago is when humans started to document their history. It's relatively recent. And then, if it came from some base, if it's actually alien technology, maybe they have a base in the outer solar system, at 1,000 times the Earth-Sun separation, it would have taken it about 80 years to reach us. That's roughly the period over which we broadcasted our technological advances. So if someone is listening to us out there, they could potentially visit us on a reconnaissance mission. And the reason I was suspicious of this object is, first of all, from its brightness, if you assume it's a solid object, has to be 20 kilometers, and there is just not enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver once per decade such a giant rock. A 20-kilometer rock can arrive at our vicinity once per 10,000 years or so. There is just not enough material. And moreover, it has a very special orbit. The trajectory is in the plane of the motion of the planets around the sun. That's a 1 in 500 chance. And then it comes close to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus with a 1 in 20,000 chance. And so the question is whether this trajectory was designed. And we have to watch it to figure it out. The one interesting point is I wrote a paper this morning suggesting a risk scale. Now it's called the Loeb scale for assessing.
Congrats on that, by the way.
For assessing whether an object is completely natural. If we see a comet or an asteroid or icy rock out there that shows all the properties of icy rocks in our backyard in the solar system, then it gets a 0 on that scale. However, if it seems to be technological because it maneuvers, it has some propulsion, an engine, or it emits artificial light, then we can conclude that it's technological, and that would rank it as 10 on that scale. And this is really important for us to do for every object that enters the vicinity of Earth from outside the solar system, because we just don't know who our neighbors are.
Yes. Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, Dr. Loeb, last time we spoke, we talked about, obviously, there's the Fermi paradox, which most people are familiar with if the universe is so vast and abundant, then where's all the life at? Where's that happening? But you also mentioned the answer to that paradox, a proposal of the dark forest theory, where like a hunter in the forest wanting to hide from different predators, and that intelligent life could adapt to that, where it's aware of other intelligent life, and obviously keeping those signals not as bright. But we spoke about that our first priority, if this has any indication that it might be from an alien intelligence, is to listen, don't speak, like we would on a date, especially a blind date. But can you speak a little bit about what the human response might be together here on Earth? Do you see nations putting aside their differences? I know that President Reagan had talked about that in a famous speech with the Soviet Union, that we'd be willing to put aside our differences to unite together as humanity. Do you see that scenario happening? Or would we play like we do with every situation, every person for themselves?
This was a very wise statement from President Reagan, and in fact, he's responsible for me being in the U.S. because I led the first international project of the Strategic Defense Initiative that is now rejuvenated in the context of the Golden Dome. The way I see it is that if we identify on this Loeb scale, identify a technological object that is close to 10, there needs to be a discussion between policymakers and the scientists about how to respond to it. And the response, just imagine a visitor to your backyard. The way you respond to that visitor, it depends on who the visitor is, what the capabilities of the visitor are, and what the intent is. And therefore, we should collect as much data, we should observe before having an opinion. But eventually, we'll have to respond if the visitor comes very close to us and perhaps even gets to Earth. Or we see, we could see mini probes that were released by some mothership that passes nearby, and we will see activity in the Earth's atmosphere. The question is what to do about that. And there needs to be an international organization, because presumably the aliens don't care how we split territories on this Earth. For them it's irrelevant, and this will be a problem for all humans. So there needs to be some coordination among all. We are all in the same boat. And just like President Reagan said, I do think it will bring people together. When you have an external threat, people tend to unite. And that, in a way, is a messianic era. If you think about the arrival of the Messiah, maybe that will come from another star, in the sense that it will bring peace to Earth among all humans. I hope so. I also hope that it will not endanger the future of humanity. And I hope that we could learn from any technologies that they might have that we don't have. We will learn about new science as well.
Awesome. I really appreciate you joining us. I could talk to you for hours
Yes.
and hours and hours.
Yes.
And what's cool about this, even if it isn't something alien like that, it's still a cool thing we don't know anything about. It's a new thing we get to learn about.
So much out there.
Yeah.
Dr.
Well,
Avi Loeb, thank
my
you, sir.
basic point is that science can be fun, and that you never should lose your childhood curiosity. Don't pretend to be the adult in the room.
Love it.
that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And welcome back into Fox 10 Talks. What?
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Is this the re-debut of Christina Carilla right now?
It is. This is a big deal. I've never been on our streaming.
Wow.
We basically invented this while you've been on maternity
I
leave.
know. So much has happened. I've been gone for 3 months. I come back and everything's changed.
Well,
She's our baby.
And the fact that you wore black for this. I mean, we're on
Oh my gosh.
very
Rookie
formal.
mistake.
Formal.
Yes.
Yes.
I wore green
It looks perfect.
on a
looks
green
perfect.
screen.
It looks regal.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were going from out of this world visitors. Now we have an alien experience. Your first day back to the newsroom.
Kind of
So
like
how's
that.
it feel?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was a rough build-up. I talked to
Sure.
Steve about this a lot because, finding daycare
Yeah.
and the whole thing, scariest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
You're going back to that situation.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, that was daunting, but we got through it and we're here and now it feels good. Like it's nice to come back. It's nice to talk to adults, you know what I mean?
Oh, there's a lot of truth to that. Oh
So
my
true.
goodness.
So true.
Just tell us about your baby boy.
Oh,
Baby Carson.
Carson's the
Now,
best.
we do have some video of
Okay.
baby Carson.
Love that.
You sent me these pictures right after.
Oh my
There he
gosh,
is.
a throwback.
Oh my goodness.
A throwback.
Back when he was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Now he's like, I don't know, 17, 18.
That was a really natural way to throw in his birth weight in conversation
I know, right?
like
And
that.
I still remember it. I'm proud of myself for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Props.
How easily we forget.
Oh, I know
yes.
it, right?
No, it's been great.
Has this been a whirlwind?
A whirlwind.
Yeah.
Yes. But being it's so cheesy, but being a mom is the best job.
Mm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love, love, love. I was really lucky. Like I had an easy labor, delivery. The pregnancy was like pretty, textbook, nothing
Awesome.
crazy.
Great.
I think I got really lucky there. And he's a good baby. Like he's just fun to be around. I miss him. I know. I love him.
That's great.
It's the best.
This is the first day too. I
This
know.
is the yeah.
So this is the hardest day, I promise.
Oh,
of
my
all of
gosh.
the leaving, your son behind and coming into
Yeah.
work. I promise this is the hardest one. It gets a little bit
Okay.
easier every single
I'm
day.
gonna hold you to it.
At about like when they turn into a psychopath when they're 2, that's
you
when
enjoy
you chuck your child into daycare and you're like, you can keep them for several weeks. I'll see them later. What's the sleep schedule like for you at this
Oh my
point?
gosh. It's gotten so much better. Because in the beginning, I mean, having a newborn, you're not sleeping.
No.
It's every 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 1.5 sometimes. Because they wake up to feed. And since then, it's gotten a lot better. He will sleep like 6-7 hours through the night, and then he wakes up to feed. But I'll take it. Like that's better
yeah,
than it was.
That's great. Well, I just remember all the useless things that you thought you needed to do in the beginning that as you streamlined it out, you're like, why the hell did I do any of that?
Yeah.
And it's more like the expectation that like the things that you get during the baby shower or whatever, you're like, well, I got to use it because somebody got this for me. I remember we had like this bottle warmer that was ridiculous.
We have not used that.
Okay. Like we unfortunately did because we were like, well, we got it. We better use it. And it was like, you got to use distilled water and it has to go in there for 15, 20 minutes. And I just remember like we were a month in and it was like, why am I getting up at 2:00 in the morning? Baby's hungry right now.
Yeah.
I've got to wait 20 minutes to get this damn bottle ready.
Right. And
As
the baby's
opposed to just,
screaming.
I got a glass bottle and I got a microwave right there. Like,
Right. I know.
And getting that right.
No, the thing on that note, we got, and I registered for this. I was like, we got to get a wipe warmer. A wipe warmer?
Yeah.
Who uses does anyone
That is-
use
There's
one
a
of
market.
those?
There is a market for
That's
that.
a
Did you
very
use
spoiled
that?
baby.
Did you-
That is a
I know.
very
too.
spoiled
I know.
baby.
When we noticed that, like, okay, she's asleep and we don't really want to wake her up with the wipes, we got to warm
This
can
is
see
the
that.
reason.
I can see that.
Where's everyone at? I'm the youngest of 3.
I'm the
Or-
oldest.
You're
of
the
3.
oldest.
Yeah,
Okay, so
youngest of 2.
you're the youngest of 2. Okay, so you and I get each other, which is
Right.
that growing up, people forgot about us.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't exist really in many
Right.
ways. We were the Kevin McAllisters. You'd go on a trip, no one would even know if you were there or not until
Oh
you're
my
halfway
gosh.
to Paris.
Right.
The oldest, though.
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, they
I
get
don't know.
they get warmed up baby wipes.
Nah.
Yes.
They
I
get
don't
bottle
think so.
warmers.
Sweet
they
little
get the-
nicknames.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the case for me. I mean, my parents did the cry it out method. I was like left alone
Make
in
it
the
work.
crib. Yeah. My mom was like, night 1, you were in the crib. What are you talking about? This bassinet business. You weren't in our room. I'm like,
Right,
oh my
right.
gosh.
All I
We're
wanted to
suckers.
do with
We're
our
suckers.
all I wanted to do with our third was to skip the bassinet thing and just go right to the crib as well.
Really?
And my
Wow.
wife was just like, "It's our last one. We cannot do that."
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Nah.
So I need to get into it with you and your
Get
husband.
into it.
Okay. Is he waking up for these feedings?
No.
Is he okay? All right.
He
I'm with him on this, by the way.
Zach, I'm sorry. I love you. He is asleep the
Yeah.
whole time.
Is he snoring during these feedings?
Oh my gosh, I would. If that were the case, no. No, I think he does kind of like roll over when he hears me like get
Yeah.
him up to feed him and stuff. But
Yeah.
and I also felt bad because he went right back to work. Right. So
Oh,
he had
yeah,
to wake
that's
up in the
tough.
morning. I didn't want to
Sure.
wake him up. We tried to have him do like a bottle before bedtime. And
Yeah.
it was like, I was in the thick of like postpartum anxiety. I was like,
Mhm.
Just give him to me. I got it. It's me. I'll take him. It's fine. No,
Yeah.
you go back to sleep. I'll handle it. And I think, so I kind of made my own bed with that one.
I will always remember there was one night I woke up while Susan was feeding, I think it was Campbell, our middle child, and I woke up to her finger on my forehead just slowly pushing harder and harder. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, "You were snoring."
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh boy,
Don't do
okay.
that.
Oh, I can't snore.
Don't do that.
I don't know how to fix that, but I'm not going to do that one again.
No.
Want to welcome everybody that's watching. Charles, David on the chat. Welcome back, Christina.
Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you.
Awesome.
Wow, you guys can see the chat up here.
Yeah.
This
Very
is a good
interactive.
setup.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, jinx.
And I'm just the fill-in right now too. I'm just hanging out.
You're
this
just
is
chilling.
Trenton's show. We're just hanging
shame.
out right
Oh,
now.
cool. Well, we're
Yeah.
honored.
Well, we all can't go to Zurich, Switzerland and enjoy our time off.
Is
but
that where
some
he
of us
is?
do. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, you don't get to go on
Web.
vacations
Yes.
anymore, by the way. Just a heads up on
Right.
that.
I think vacations are out for the next year.
Yeah.
Unless it's Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Only two things happen in Switzerland: cheese and money laundering. What is Brian Webb doing?
Yeah.
Great question.
I don't know. It stinks. We'll find out.
We should Zoom with him.
Yeah, right. Clearly. Well, the thing though, I guess, did you have any was your family there to help out initially, like the first few
Yeah.
days out of the hospital?
My mom.
Because we were dumped.
Oh,
That's
my
what happened to
gosh.
us. It was so my folks were very nice, and sorry, Mom and Dad, you were awesome to come, and they helped us watch our dogs, like we were there. But
Yeah.
in the hospital, there's no getting sleep.
No.
You get especially for the guys, you get the little couch that's not a bed, and
comfy.
it's definitely not a bed that thinks it's a couch. You're in between on both of that, and you're exhausted. You're like,
It's
oh
lovely.
my gosh, I've got this little life. That in the ride home, at least for us, it was like we weren't so close to the hospital, so it was like a 30-minute drive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're still white knuckling it the whole time, like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, am I babies in the car seat, but should they just be held? And we get to our house, and we're like, thanks, Mom and Dad, for watching. We're just so dead. And they're like, great, glad everything went awesome. See you guys later.
Oh my
we got to go back.
gosh.
And we're like, because the hospital staff, they're just paid to be like, vitals,
I
check, you're good.
know, I
'Cause
know.
you're like, can you please just watch the baby? And they're like, no,
Yes.
you can't.
Interesting note. So I was like, I got to get out of here. We
Yeah.
got to get out of the hospital. I don't want to be here anymore. It was great, great experience, but I just wanted to
Right.
to clear that hurdle, going home, getting settled.
It's a
I just
big
wanted
benchmark.
to get there. But in hindsight, I mean, I hear from other people, they're like, we milked that. We stayed for 2 days, let the nurse take care of the baby. And I kind of think back, I'm like, had I known that was an option,
Mhm.
they don't offer that.
It wasn't at
It's
mine.
not
I'll
an
tell you that.
offer. They're
Yeah.
not.
We had Nurse Ratchet, and she was like, I'm not watching that
No.
baby. Yeah. It was like,
Did you have the sponge bath though, where they take the baby, they give the baby
for,
a bath?
for
for
like
that.
20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
That was
no.
it.
Yes, they came back.
It's like,
and
good God.
I don't even remember speaking to the nurse, but my husband Zach was like, yeah, you were got up for a second. They're like, he needs to feed, and you fed him. I'm like, I have no recollection of this. I was so out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Oh.
we did have the nurse take the baby to do a bath. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was crying like crazy, and we hadn't slept at all, and so Zach was like, just call the nurse. And I finally gave in. Okay, fine, we'll call the nurse.
And it's like, what are you crying about? right? We're the ones that gave birth. We're the ones up right now.
whoa.
You're a baby.
We have.
You didn't give birth. Watch it.
Oh, Steve is one of those we couples.
We're pregnant.
Right. I
Yeah.
believe that's actually how he told the newsroom as he came in.
I'm really not one of those people, so I'm really upset with myself that it slipped out like that because
Oh my
I'm going to be eating crow on
What
that
are
one,
they
I
saying
think,
in
for a
the
little
chat?
while.
Are you getting in trouble?
Yeah, I will be
Okay.
soon.
We're fine.
What has been something that you weren't expecting that has happened so far?
Oh my gosh, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, is this too TMI? But sometimes a breastfed baby can go like 5 to 7 days without
Yeah.
pooping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Terrifying, right?
Right.
Terrifying.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And then when it finally does happen, you're like,
Dear Lord.
what am I gonna do now?
Who knew?
I've always found, especially when they're really young, and this is through 3 now, I still have the same level of stress. The first time they get sick,
Yeah.
not knowing,
Oh.
are you so sick we need to go to the doctor?
Right.
I'm
Or
dreading
do
that.
we go to the hospital?
Is this an urgent care?
Or
matter? Right.
is everyone going to laugh at us when we get there? For some reason, I always have this mindset of like, I don't want to be laughed at for being like
Right.
too protective as a parent. And you're trying to, it's just hard to
Oh my
figure it
gosh.
out
So
because,
tough.
you know,
So
you
tough.
Google anything because that's what we all do now, right? When you have
Thank
symptoms.
God for Google.
I know, but every single thing on Google with a baby's like, yeah, you should probably go to the hospital.
This definitely
Mm.
warrants medical attention.
Yeah. You're in
Yeah.
trouble. I know.
I've really struggled with all of that. So,
It's tough.
yeah.
Well, and also leaving baby with other people or
Yes.
like in the room. I know that's a process.
Yeah, well,
it's tough. Like my wife had to
I-
go back to work like 6 weeks. So
Okay.
yeah, we didn't really have an option.
That's
so
hard.
it was
I know
tough.
a lot of people are like that, but I mean, it was crazy how protective I got over the baby, even with my husband. I'm like
Yeah.
this, and he has another kid, right? So
Right.
he's done this before. I'm the noob.
Right.
Like I should be asking him for advice, and he's like, "I got this," and I'm still like, "But wait, can you hold him this way?
You're not doing it
Yeah,
right.
you're not doing. Let me just take him." Like, yeah, causes some
It gets to
rifts.
be a little bit of a battle.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at allowing everyone to sort of have those moments, but there are, and I'm not going to name them, but like 2 people in my life with the newborns where it was just like, I think I'm good. I'm just going to hold the baby the whole time.
Oh,
We're good.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I know you really
Right,
well.
right.
I've known you since college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, there's no trust there.
That's a whole thing. Like when someone asks to hold your baby and you really want to say no, but you feel like you have to say yes. Yeah, that's a level of uncomfortable. I don't know.
Well, welcome back.
Oh,
Thank you.
We're so glad
so
you're back.
happy
It's good
you're
to be
back.
back. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
4 o'clock, debut back on the air,
Yeah,
right?
it might be rocky. Give me grace.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I don't know
You're going to
how.
be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah.
Well, we're back with John Hook on his big interview this week.
Yeah.
You guys
On
will pass
Heart.
each other in the hallway.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Watch Fox 10 Talks. Hey everyone, watching Fox 10 Talks, joined by John Hook today.
Hey, John Hook.
Frequent guest.
This is great because we just had Christina Carilla
Yeah,
on. Now we've
she's
got
so
Then
John
we had
Hook.
the alien professor. They're coming. Yeah, soon.
He is convinced that that thing is an alien craft.
The mothership with
He said
probes.
60% now, he said.
Why is this not leading every newscast?
Right.
This
He's even
is the
got
I don't
biggest
think we
story in
believe it.
human history.
I don't think we buy it yet.
He's got a scale, the Loeb scale, 0 to 10, like the Richter scale, but it's not good. Let me just
Meaning
Yeah, so a 10
probability of
what this could be.
Did he rank this one yet?
Yeah. So 0 is insignificant, consistent with known natural phenomena.
Just like a normal comment.
Yeah,
Just this is a
run
comment.
of the mill. Now 10, confirmed technology with global impact. So extraterrestrial, artificial origin, impact trajectory with global terrestrial consequences. A hell of a statement.
no,
there.
wait a minute. And he puts this at a what?
A 6. What's a 6 say?
So a 6 is
Yeah.
suspected active technology. Level 5 criteria plus at least one of the following: signs of being operational, maneuver signals, electromagnetic signals in non-natural origin, trajectory changes, incompatible with gravitational and outgassing models.
If I'm a reporter in DC,
Yeah.
I am asking anybody on intelligence about this.
We actually talked about
You need to ask the question at the very
so
least.
Congresswoman Luna, she asked that NASA direct one of their probes, I think it's the Juno probe by Jupiter,
Okay.
to make a swing by to see what it looks like. Because I think it's, what do you say, March? It's going to be over
Is
there.
that possible to do that?
If they have the will, they have the way. He said they should have the fuel to do that.
There's going to
But,
be so many scientists
yeah.
that are just devastated by that have been waiting 15 years to throw this thing into Jupiter and get the research from all of that.
Well, they could redirect it afterwards, right? Just take a
Oh,
swing,
yeah, put it back
pass
in.
by.
Yeah.
I'm just
That
waiting
point.
for Elon Musk to join in. It's going to be like Armageddon, where they're like, let's do it.
Can you imagine
company.
this? I mean, I do wonder. I have wondered for a while as they're declassifying a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of discussion about this. Is the government softening the battlefield of the American public in case we ever make contact so that people aren't utterly freaked out, that they're kind of half expecting it, that contact could come in some form or another, either from radio waves or whatever it might be, to say somebody's trying to reach out. I mean, I do
We'll be
not
there.
ever dismiss that possibility. It would be arrogant of us to think that that's not possible, or that someone in some other civilization out there that is, who knows, 100 million years ahead of us, or 1 billion years ahead of us in technology, could not have figured out a way to navigate the cosmos.
Right, and only human arrogance would be that
Exactly.
to say that.
And I
no,
say,
it couldn't happen. It
what?
has to be
No,
natural.
you have to keep your mind open about such a
Yeah.
thing, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, and that's exactly
know.
what Avi Loeb was saying, was that let the data show what's there, but don't kneecap it before
Exactly.
we know
No,
exactly
I'm with him
what
on
this
that.
is.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it is. I'm just saying you cannot be a smart person and utterly dismiss that. That would be incredible arrogance and ignorance, I think.
I don't know. I dismiss it whole-handedly. No, I'm just-
Wow. So actually, you're watching
think it'd be a-
Crossfire, Fox 10. Thank you.
Taking your calls, Larry King.
It could be a 10 on the Loeb. It
You,
could be a
sir,
10 on the
damn
Loeb
liar.
scale. It'd be a 10 on the Loeb scale and still be called a weather balloon, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
It's always a weather
Right.
balloon.
Yeah, this is my take on it. Could it be it? I mean, sure. I don't think I live in exciting enough times to be witnessing an alien
Really?
invasion.
With the last
You
10
don't-
years,
that's all
Right. I was going to say, you don't think
I
after
just-
the pandemic we're ready for this?
I don't think I'm special enough. I don't.
Yeah.
But what I would say is this is all very interesting. Like, I want to know more about this rock in general. This is kind of what we ended with him on. I do care if it's alien, but whether it's alien or not doesn't matter to me in the sense of this is going to be really interesting scientifically. There is a rock coming here that doesn't make sense with any of our current data, any of our current logic of physics,
Right.
our understanding of gravity. None of it makes sense right now. It doesn't match what a comet should look like or a
you
comet
said
should do.
Today, the Hubble
What is
took-
this
yeah,
thing?
that there's a glow in the front of it and not in the rear of it, like we would have
That's a new
tail.
thing today.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah. So what? So if it's not aliens,
Right.
But
what is
propulsion
this
would
thing?
be at the rear, likely, wouldn't it? I mean, we again,
that in our understanding
In
of
our
chemical
understanding now.
propulsion,
according
sure.
to Star Trek science,
right.
I know. What does Scotty say?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I want to know.
Yes, God rest his soul.
yeah.
James Doohan, I believe.
Right.
Well, the whole thing, though, I love, though, that it's got this firestorm of conversation going in the scientific community, obviously in the layman's world, too, but we're all still interested. And on Capitol Hill, that was at least, I think the interesting part was seeing the last year, the last 5 years, and where this was topic we're not going to cover.
And it was a taboo subject.
Right. Nobody would take you seriously.
If you raised it, you were a kook.
Mm-hmm.
And I never quite understood that line of thought. It's the ultimate question.
Right.
Should we not
Is
be
no one
curious?
interested? Yeah.
I firmly believe aliens, to our knowledge, have not made contact with us in that way. I really firmly believe it. All of the people that would know, the amount of human beings that would have this level of knowledge, there's just no way you can keep it quiet other than, that one kooky scientist who
Two people
fled
can't
from.
keep a conspiracy.
Exactly.
Right.
I remember I was lucky enough, I went to JPL, NASA's largest lab out in Pasadena, to talk to Dr. Lori Leshin. She's in charge of JPL, which is basically, they do all the robotics for NASA. If there was an alien spacecraft that landed here, the scientists at JPL would be the ones who would dismantle it, figure it out, know what's going on. JPL would be the place where all that happens. And I asked her about aliens. I fully, firmly believe her reaction when she said, we're trying to figure out if there's microbes on Mars. If we knew that there was like gray aliens crashing ships into our planet, like, you think
Area
we'd be curious
51.
about microbes? Come on.
Right. True.
So what I do think is really interesting about this
Unless
topic.
it's a great diversion.
That's true.
It's true.
Is that we brought you
That's
on to talk
equally
about
possible.
We brought you on to talk about something else entirely, and we are now more than halfway through this segment.
What
and
else
we're
is there
still
to talk
talking
about? Like you said, it
It's
should be
fine.
leading every headline.
Well, they should at least be asking the questions.
They should.
Right. And I think it's at the end of the day, if this is of natural origin, we get that more data to confirm that this is just a hunk of rock that we can't explain right now why it's different from other hunks of rock flying through the cosmos. I still think the conversation of us having, these thought experiments, that is what the scientific method is about. It's about learning. It's about assembling that and talking.
Sure. And don't you wonder if you needed a galvanizing event to bring humanity
That's
together.
exactly what we asked him about. Right.
This
Ronald
might
Reagan's
be it.
speech
No.
about with the Soviet Union.
There's nothing.
It would be
Yeah.
sheer panic.
There is nothing that'll bring us together. Everyone would be figuring out
I don't
how they
know.
can use this to their advantage against their enemies. I really struggle
I don't
to
know.
think.
I give humanity more credit than that. I just think if we were facing something like that, it would upend everything we know, and people would have to completely recalibrate.
I think it would have to do with the level
Everything would seem small in comparison.
Right. I think with the level of threat. I think if it was a presence that was there, I do see, to Steve's point, that there would be certain countries, certain actors that would want to take advantage of some kind of relationship.
The aliens
there.
like us better than they like Russia, and try to play that up. Yeah.
But I think if it was a hostile threat, would be I think humanity would join together at least for a common cause.
That's fair.
Of we have no other option, because there is no other option.
Is this what we're down to for options to bring everybody together?
Right.
I just want to bring Republicans and Democrats together, let alone North Korea and Russia and Iran with us.
I wonder how aliens fit into the flat Earth theory. Like, what plane do they come from on the flat Earth?
They go through the paper. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Would this be the official end of flat Earth theory? Would this be the end of it?
No. There's been many ends to it.
And
Keep
that
going.
discussion would be really back burner.
Yeah.
The lower rungs of it.
Right.
Amazing.
Who's on Newsmaker this week, John?
Nancy Wilson of the incredible band Heart.
That's awesome.
Wow.
What a great interview to get.
Yeah,
Well,
it was fun.
know your love for music. You are an
Yes.
aficionado of music in the newsroom.
I'm really into it. I mean, it was my calling in college.
Yeah.
I played in bands all over Tempe and Phoenix and Arizona. So that was kind of, I was in journalism school, but my passion was music. Where did
Oh
you
wow!
dig
Look at
this out
this.
of? Where did you dig this out of?
Yep.
Got the Rickenbacker going.
The Master Ron
Sting?
pulled it up.
This, let's see. Oh, this
wow.
was with War.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Sat in
awesome.
with War at Steele Indian School Park.
What an amazing moment.
Yeah.
Holy
You're
cow.
holding your own up there. I can't
Yeah.
hear it, but you look like
I'm
you're
not
holding
sure
your own.
how much they had me in the mix. I think they were not going to take a
Well,
lot
according
of
to this
chances.
video, you were the mix. Yeah.
He wasn't at
Corey,
11.
yes.
There we go.
Guitar is second instrument.
that's the
Bass
Beatles,
is- Yeah, I mean, I learned to play guitar, but bass became my instrument in the band.
That's when you had that John Kasich haircut, when that shot
Yes.
with Corey there a second ago.
Yeah, played a lot. Got to record with some really cool people, the Gin Blossoms, some of those guys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, we did a side project with a friend of mine, Billy Siegel, who runs artist relations for Fender Guitar. And he did a side project, and he brought in everybody he knew, from Robin Wilson. Oh my God, who else played on that record? Nils Lofgren played on it.
No
Oh
kidding.
my God, he brought in so many really good players.
Yeah.
And so I went in with a bass track. I was supposed to sing a scratch vocal on this song, and I said I did build a bass line for this song. They go, well, let's hear it. So I'm recording with Scotty Johnson from the Blossoms. P.H. Nafa was on the drums. I was playing, and I played the bass part, and they're like, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep that. We like it. And so it ended
Unreal.
up on the record.
That's unreal.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What are you
It's
thinking
pretty
in that
awesome.
moment when you hear that?
Well, it was really funny because going into the studio, I was, compared to these guys, they are professionals. I'm doing this stuff. So I go into this session and I'm playing this and I'm thinking, okay, I already made a mistake there. And this will be interesting at the end. Like, I'm not good enough to play with these guys. And at the end, the last note's ringing and the engineer goes, okay, guys, confession time. And I go, well, I missed a note. Scotty Johnson goes, yeah, I missed something I need to clean up. PH, yeah, I missed something. I'm like, oh, it's not perfection.
Hey, so John Hook's going to stay with us for a little bit.
Yeah,
this
I
is
didn't
great.
get to Nancy Wilson.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about her
completely
real quick.
unaware of
The
time.
three of us can't sit at a table together.
No,
We can't keep
just
us on track.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
They should really just make the broadcast roll into this for the
Yeah.
4 o'clock. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But we do have a question in the chat from Charles David John. He asks, "Are you a Geddy Lee fan?"
Oh, yeah. I mean, you talk about just gifted.
Yeah.
Vocally, just out of his mind. And as a bass player, incredible. Just incredible. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like top of the heap.
Right. Easy question there. Nancy Wilson of Heart, lead guitarist.
Yeah.
Talk us through that interview.
Well,
How'd that go?
it's cool because we talked a lot
Yeah.
about songwriting,
Right.
which I'm really into that whole world. And, you know, she talked about her creative process and how she does it. And do you know it's a hit when you write it? And all of that is really interesting because for artists, sometimes it comes to you. She called it like a drop from heaven. It just kind of almost start to finish. It kind of lands on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, where did that come from? And then other times it's complete elbow grease. You're grinding it out. And she said, I have a lot of snippets and we've got to build from there. There's a guitar riff and then we've got to add to it and get a chorus and a bridge and
Yeah.
you know,
And some of her riffs, oh my God, most iconic in
Unbelievable.
rock history.
unbelievable. And
Yeah.
she's really a rhythm player, primarily, rhythm guitar player. And, you know, she plays lead, but she's really a percussive guitar player and plays it hard, as you know. I mean, she wails on that thing. And, you know, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, they are from Dreamboat Annie, which was their debut album. They had 2 huge hits on that, Magic Man and what was the other one? And then they followed it up with Barracuda on the sophomore album. So, you know, they've been doing this for 50 years.
It's amazing.
And she said she still gets that buzz every time they go out on stage.
Well, that's the thing is I'm so curious when you've been doing the same thing for so long when you go out on those stage and now they're at the point where they've got the hits, right?
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to play Barracuda every time they're on that
Yes.
stage. And that riff is just,
man, it's
amazing.
unmistakable.
But every time she starts that, I got to think, you got to be kind of sick of it, right?
I would think so, but Don Henley once said, he said, I have a high tolerance for boredom. And he said, you know, I can play Hotel California over and over in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Because they are bringing all the energy back to you.
Yeah.
That's well
So-
said.
And needing that, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a drug you can't get off of once you do
and,
it.
and
It's
that
amazing.
they are in the middle of it. They're playing in Prescott at the Toyota Center next Saturday, week from Saturday.
Awesome.
Todd Rundgren's opening for him, who's another monster.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite artists.
I bet you're going to be there.
You know, I'm thinking about making the drive because I told her, I said, man, I love Rundgren, and I didn't know
Yeah.
he was on the bill. She goes, you got to come up.
That's
I
an
go,
impressive lineup for Prescott.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
good.
Love it. So Newsmaker, going to have her on.
10:30 Saturday
10:30
night.
Saturday.
She's the whole show. Because we, you know, that show, we blow it up and do all
Right.
kinds of different stuff.
It's the
on
best
it.
show. I love watching
It's
Newsmaker.
just interesting.
Yeah.
You know, she's
Yeah.
interesting, and I'm like, we're going to do the whole show.
Best gets of the whole week right on Newsmaker.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we know you got to run.
Thank you, guys.
Gotta do
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
4
You got-
o'clock.
Yeah, you
so.
got the
News
news
time.
in
Right.
a few minutes here.
Right.
Take care, guys.
Some would say a real job, right, Steve? You know, well, we're making it happen.
We're trying. What are we
Yeah.
talking about now, Trenton? What are we doing?
Well, have I got a story for you,
Good.
Steve?
You are the captain of this ship.
Well, there's been some malfeasance at WNBA games.
Oh, my gosh.
Some would call them marital aids. Some would call them sex toys. But thrown out on the court of the green variety, kind of like the screen if you could really see the color.
Yeah.
That's what's being thrown on the court, being
Why?
disruptive.
What is going on? Why is this is the fourth time this has happened now?
Yes, you're asking if there's a method to this madness?
Yes. What is this?
Well,
it feels like there's a sexist component to this or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't get it.
it's definitely becoming a trend, a moment where I
don't
sat-
like it.
No, I don't
Let's
think
stop
anyone
this.
does.
No.
Yeah. But the crazy part to me is just that now we all have this anticipation watching a WNBA game of, is it going to happen? Is this going to be disruptive? Is this going to be the one? Who's going to get hit? It's sad that in 2025 that's where we're at.
And this happened at a Mercury game, the latest one, right?
Yes.
Right
there
here.
was
PHX
a
Arena.
gentleman that was arrested and charged with the crime. I believe he was actually in court this afternoon. We're going to have more on that at 4 o'clock. But again, you have to kind of think, What's the psychology of these people going and doing this?
I don't understand it. I really don't get the logic. I will tell you this. I know right now it's just the WNBA.
Yeah.
If I'm in charge, and I'm a Thunderbird and I'm in charge of running the Phoenix Open, I would be real nervous with this right now. Because if there is a crowd that will take this 6 months later and run with it like crazy,
no kidding.
It is the drunkards at the Phoenix Open. And I want to be really clear as I say this. I love the Phoenix Open. It is like my favorite event in the entire world. So I'm not, when I say drunkards, I didn't mean it in a bad way.
No.
There's just some people
it's a
having
term
a
of
little bit
endearment.
too much fun there every year.
I was one of those guys. I've thrown a... I won't say that on TV.
That's a good
well, the
move.
nice thing...
Walk that one back.
The nice thing is, for at least a marketing perspective, the color schemes really are perfect for waste management in this.
That's true. They're green.
I see a branding opportunity here, really.
Oh, no.
Do you think these flying objects would be on the Loeb scale as far as
boy,
like a
do
3
I.
on the Avi Loeb scale?
Yes. I think it's going to be unprecedented, really. And I look forward to your reports on that, Steve.
Oh, gosh.
Live from the course.
Well, you know me. Every year at the Phoenix Open, I work every angle I can. I call in every single outlet I can pull in and favor I can have in order to make sure I report there every single day.
Yeah.
Because it is just heaven on earth for me. And then recently, they've been having me live there. I anchor the weekend show.
Right.
I get to field anchor on the weekends there, which just means I get to hang out at the course all day.
Right.
I hope the bosses aren't listening. I just blew up my spot on that one. But but it is the best thing ever. I love being at that tournament. Please don't ruin it with this. Please.
Well, I think this invitation, at least, it'll be interesting to see if it is accepted later.
I have never wanted to talk less about a story than I think this one, because we can't even say what it is.
That's what I was going to say. Is I'm excited for your euphemisms in this, your synonyms of how Steve going to describe the scene of what actually transpired.
You went with marital aid. That's pretty good. I don't like
we were trying.
I don't like the other one you said. I don't feel comfortable saying that on television. I really don't feel comfortable saying any of them.
Really? Yes.
It came up in the pitch meeting this morning as we were discussing this, and the actual word of what it's called was the first way it was referenced, and I was like, oh boy. Oh boy!
Have we gotten explicit instructions we can't say?
I don't know.
The message I just received in real time, thank you, Neil, is walk away now.
Walk away now.
Yes, that's the message from on high. So, interesting.
If Neil says walk away.
Yeah.
You're really in trouble when Neil says walk away.
Right.
Hi, Neil. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. There was an interesting side. I think we can go to the video of at least fans in Europe at a soccer match. They were so upset with the coach's performance. They threw luggage on the field. Yeah, there's the luggage.
To like get out of town?
Yeah, that's it. We're done. Wow. The extremes.
Props to them on this.
Yeah, the planning that has to go into that,
Oh, well done.
You're getting scanned, you're getting taken to the extra room for security. It's really dedicated.
They probably have a whole song saying "Get out of town." That they're all chanting.
Right.
You got to respect them for that. How did they get that past security? None of those are clear bags.
I'm amazed, really.
It is fascinating, too, because the luggage is very expensive. I don't know if you've gone luggage shopping. It's very pricey. Although props to the players and the rest here. It looks like they're throwing it back up to the fans.
Right.
That's a good way to take it. Here's the coach.
Worse.
What does he say? The coach not happy.
No.
That's not a happy.
Okay.
Sarcastic applause at the fans.
So. It was tepid.
He hasn't lost his team, clearly.
No, he's not running away.
No.
It's rough. And that's the thing. Have you been to a European soccer match?
I haven't. Bucket list.
Does it
for
say
me, absolutely.
football or calcio in Italia? Like I have. I mean, wow! What an experience, fans. I mean, they'll kill you.
Have you ever been to like an Alabama, a Michigan, or an Ohio State game? One of those?
Well, I had to go with the
football?
bargain version of Texas A&M, but yes.
Okay. Texas A&M's a vibe. I'm not sure it's quite the same, but it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Every Texas A&M fan listening to me,
it's a lifestyle.
Punch me right now.
It's a cult. I believe it's a cult.
It is.
Some would say
it is deeply cultish.
Apologize to my family on that comment.
The guy rings the bell, right? Do we have video of that?
Midnight Yell, baby.
Can't show that on TV.
Howdy.
But they love their team. Like, is it different than college football? Because I feel like college football is our peak.
That's a great question.
Crazy fan.
That's a great question. I would say yes, because at least college football has a season to where there's the off season where they're moving on to other things that they want to live and die for. But with soccer, I feel like it's a full time, all the time. That's all we talk about, over there at least. The trades, what are they doing in the off season? What are we looking like for what the pub runs are going to be?
Well, that's interesting. That's something I haven't really thought about with American sports. Is we have many elite sports. American football is certainly number one by far. But we talk baseball, we talk basketball, we talk hockey. We've got other sports that we chit-chat about.
It's a one-trick pony over there.
You're right. It's just soccer.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
Right.
I think soccer has something college football could use, which is, I like relegation. Everybody likes relegation, but players on loan. How about, instead of NIL, players leave it. I mean, you do NIL, but how about Alabama loans their number 3 quarterback to UAB for the season, and he's still committed to Alabama? I don't know how you go to school at both of those schools.
I don't think there's much schooling happening.
Yeah,
no, as Jameis Winston once famously said, right? I didn't go to Florida State to go to school.
Right.
Was that it? Was that the phrase?
A lot of crab legs.
I can't remember. I think that's a really interesting idea, because then you would actually kind of still get to play, which would be better for that third stringer. You might be onto something with that. I like that right there.
But you're still in line at the big school when the time comes. Archie Manning could have played at Texas A&M and then gone up to the big school.
I love it.
Yeah, that would have been an experience.
Seeing those fans throw that luggage on the field, though, is deeply traumatic for any fan that has had to sit through a head coach of their team that everyone knows is the wrong head coach, that you're going nowhere, and they announce that they're coming back again another season, and you're just like,
how?
Like, this is not...
It's scrapped.
You've taken this thing I love and you've made it unfun.
Right.
And I think everyone can relate to that with some team they root for at some point.
And part of it is that they're not going to scale back in their enthusiasm and the work that they do as a fan. They just know they got to trudge through it and push on and wait for the next season. It sucks.
I love how you said the work that you do as a fan. We do work hard as fans.
Well, I just figured you would relate with that, since it's the we colloquially as it's known in multiple categories. But
yes, I am absolutely a psychopath fan. I will wear that on my sleeves proudly. I'm a big fan of just being a fan.
Yeah.
If I go to a party, and I mean, it could be cricket on TV. I know nothing about the rules, but everyone's like, "Oh, we're Team Cricket A." I'm all in on Team Cricket A. I'm cheering.
Let's
louder
get those
than everyone.
Brits.
Let's have fun.
Down with the Queen.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was fun.